Hello to all my Euphoria addicts out there. My name is EJ Marino and we have a new review. I just finished episode 5 of season 2. Let's get into all of this Rue madness. I want to do a quick disclaimer. I am a bit under the weather. Yes, I have the schmover, and I'm going to try to keep my energy up for this video, but I am on more cough medicine than Rue at a middle school dance. So let's get into this episode. It was a Rue heavy episode, which isn't always my favorite. She's a character, look, I know Zendaya is the star of the show. She's one of the people who helped bring this to life, but her character's not always my favorite. So a episode centered around her is going to be a bit tough for me, but at the same time, I had fun with this episode. Watching Rue just have like almost comical level chase scene after chase scene. It's crazy. Yeah, the episode starts off very intense. The middle, it lightens up a bit, and by the end, it's back to being very serious. This was an evenly paced episode. The tone was all there. I had fun with it, but just dealing with Rue, it frustrates me. I don't know if anyone else who watches these videos have ever had an addict in their life, but Rue is a very good depiction of living and dealing and being in a relationship. Just having a addict around you, Rue is very much it, and it's tough to watch at times. The way she talks to her mother at the beginning, the way she keeps getting herself in stupid situations, the way she exposes other people's tea to like kind of take the blame off her. Oh my goodness, I have dealt with people like this my entire life, so it was a bit triggering, it was a bit frustrating. At the same time, I like that they're depicting this. I have a person in my life who watched an early episode and was just like, yeah, that's exactly how it's like. So the show is doing very well capturing this, even when it gets the most insane. I do think there is like a real good level of truth to the show, and it's why we all like it so much. Yeah, I'm going to get very into the rest of this season because I think there's a lot more to get into, but right now let's look at this episode and let's talk about all the craziness. So the episode begins and Rue is a hot mess, fighting with Gia, fighting with her mom. Like, it gets pretty intense. The stuff that she says to her mother, I know it's out of anger, it's out of her addiction, but I just can't help but being like, girl, you can never live these things down. Like, Gia's going to remember the stuff that you said to her mother forever. I don't care how deep into the addiction you are, you just don't say things like this. It gets really, really hard to watch. And yeah, this intro doesn't get any easier when Jules gets in here with Elliot. I'm like, Elliot, girl, why are you here? Bitch, leave. I don't need you, bye. Like, he frustrates me so much. And then he's like, I liked the old Rue. Oh, bitch, oh my god. Elliot pisses me off. Jules pisses me off too. I understood why she did what she needed to do. I don't think she's the saint in all these situations. And I do think Rue brought up a good point. Jules does not love her, or maybe she thinks she does, but she loves being loved. She loves that attention. She needs that attention. Rue, she had some things to say this episode that I'm like, ooh, she's a crazy woman, but I don't think she's 1,000% wrong. Yeah, I definitely think this is the end of Jules and Rue forever. I don't want to see them back together. I don't think they're good for each other. I don't think Jules understands Rue, and I don't think Rue understands Jules. Yeah, and they're a tough, weird bonding relationship. Maybe they could be friends, hopefully be friends in the future, but as a couple, I definitely think this is the end of them. To continue this opening that Zendaya does eat up, oh my goodness, as frustrating as the Rue character can be, Zendaya plays her effortlessly. It's crazy. So yeah, her mom decides to take her to the ER, which was just a rehab. Rue says, I'm not doing any of that. Girl, bye, peace, and she just like dips out, and I'm like, oh my god, and this basically starts the hour-long chase scene that this episode felt like, where Rue is just leaving one spot, running away from there, going to one spot, running away from there. Like, she's just on the move. Her first big stop is Cassie and Lexi's house, which turns out to be probably one of the biggest mistakes, though it worked out for maybe Maddie in the situation, because Rue decides in the middle of people trying to do an intervention, yeah, Rue was trying to steal stuff real quick, and you know, they're not dumb, so yeah, Rue's mom comes, and yeah, they're all there, trying to do an intervention, and in the middle of this, Rue says, girl, Cassie is sleeping with Nate, this, and this, like, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, Maddie and Cassie get into it. Sadly, we don't get enough of them in this episode because we decided to make a Rue-centric episode. That's what sucks about this one. I do enjoy this episode, but being it all about Rue, I'm just like, ooh, but we opened the Pandora's box of Cassie and Maddie. Let's get back to that. yeah, basically Rue just has to leave this house and go off to another mission, another location, and it just ends up getting worse and worse. On Rue's next stop for all the drugs in the world, she stops at Fezco's house, and this was, to me, the most heartbreaking moment. The stuff at the beginning with her mom was sad, but Fez has always been there for Rue. So when he says, girl, you need to go, you know it's serious, and it's so heartbreaking in this moment. To the point where he has to physically remove her from the house because she's trying to steal from his sick grandmother. Like, I know addicts do stuff like this, but it continues to amaze me how frustrating, how evil, how disgusting they can be in the midst of addiction. And I sympathize for addicts. I know that most of the time life puts them into their situation, which seems to be Rue's thing because she keeps going back to the trauma of losing her father. That does not excuse what she did. That does not excuse her being an addict, but you definitely start to see why she got to that point. And I do respect that. I do enjoy that. Yeah, Fezco has to kick her out, and she just goes on a more of a wild goose chase. She goes and breaks into these people's house, tries to steal from them, and then she has to go leave their house because they catch her, because Rue's not great at this, because withdrawals and not being the smartest human in the world either. Yeah, then she has to run from the cops, which is, to me, the funniest moment of this episode. After the Fezco stuff, I really needed a light moment of fun and stupidity, and this cop scene is so crazy. Like, jumping over houses, like, where she gets into, the amount of dogs that she has to deal with, it is so good. It's exactly what I wanted from a chase scene in Euphoria. There's not much action moments in this show, so this was a really good, it kept the energy going, it kept the pace going. Me being as sick as I am, I said, I needed this. Thank you. Then she goes to crazy drug dealer's house, and oh my goodness. So for the last big moment of this episode, Rue ends up going to the drug dealer house lady, and I love this woman. She is so adorable, but so scary. She's so calm, which I think is the scariest part of her. She's truly always she always seems like she's on edge, but also like, hey, I'm just gonna do this. Do you want some this? Do you want some this? I'm also probably gonna sell you into slavery. Like, the way she just delivers lines and stuff, immaculate. What a fun actress. What a great moment here. So she goes to Rue goes to her and says, hey, here's some money. She goes, this is not enough. Can't take the jewelry you stole, girl. This is not a pawn shop. What are you doing? Rue basically begs her for something, and she gives her some morphine, which knocks her out, which I'm like, Rue, I know, again, you're not in the right state of mind, but this woman said she would do some crazy stuff to you. What are you doing? Why? Yeah, you definitely see the badness that's going to be here. Rue wakes up and decides to leave the house, which I think is almost worse. Like, maybe I would have, like, worked for them if I could have been like, hey, don't sell me into slavery, but can you also, like, let me hustle for you? I won't take any money. I'll just be the runner for you. Rue, you could have thought of something here, but she escapes the drug dealer's house, and I don't know where this is going to send Rue's family, and everyone else in the show, but this was the moment that I went, we are not turning back, and oh my goodness, you have a lot to deal with now. Sorry for keeping this episode a bit short and sweet, but it wasn't a jam-packed episode. There's a lot of Rue drama, and I'm pretty sick, so I don't want to stay here longer. I enjoyed this episode. I had fun with it. It's just a frustrating one where we seeing Rue just dig herself deeper and deeper, and I hate to see it. But what did you guys think of this episode? What do you guys think of my review? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you guys give me a thumbs up because YouTube takes those way too seriously. And subscribe if you like in my Euphoria reviews. I do Euphoria. I do RuPaul's Drag Race. We have a lot of fun on this channel, so make sure you're joining in for all of that. All right, everyone, let's talk about the latest Euphoria down below.